Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and I'm making some journal covers, and I made a few, and I have one left, and I thought I would take you along for the ride. So here's a quick look at some that I have finished, and I've used a very vintage wedding ring hand quilted quilt. I was able to get a piece of it, and so I made some beautiful book covers. And I'm going to be making naked journals out of them, and when I get finished with them, we'll do a flip through and they will be available in my Etsy shop. So those are the wedding ring quilted that I have finished, and I have some of these beautiful sage quilted covers. And the one I'm going to make is going to have an inside like that one. So we're making this cover, and my process is to cut it larger than the inside, and this is 8.5 by 14, and so I like to have a 1/2 inch to an inch all the way around it, and then I decorate my front and I sew the decoration right onto the quilted fabric. So now my next step is flip it over to the wrong side, and this is old recycled manila file folder, and again it's 14 by 8.5, and what I did was I used the original fold, and then I scored and 1/2 inch on each side so that I've got some folds in my file folder for my journal. And then on the side that's going to go to this fabric, I have ironed on some, this is heavy duty Wonder Under. I usually use Heat and Bond Light, but when I was going through my mother's things, she had some Wonder Under, so I thought, let's use this up. So you iron it on like you would the Heat and Bond Light. It has this protective sheet. Go ahead and pull it off. And it has a nice parchment-like consistency. Now I have it marked, and I used an ink pen so that you could see in the camera, so that I know where my front is going to be, and then I folded it over. That's how I know I got this centered where I want it to be. So we're going to go ahead and line that up again. And go ahead and press. And I'm using my craft iron, and I've got it set to a medium setting. No steam when you're working with adhesives. So just go ahead and press and let it heat through. Okay, we're gonna move the iron aside. I always get burned, so it'll probably happen. Let this cool just a moment. And I have another piece of fabric that's going to be my liner. And it is this Edith Holden butterfly print. And I got this on eBay. And all they had was 1 yard left. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the paper backing on this as well. And I used scraps of the Wonder Under so that I could maximize my adhesives. And I applied the Heat and Bond to the wrong side. Now I'm going to go ahead and place it onto the back. Again, lining up, making sure that I have my fabric the way I want it to go. Let's go ahead and press this on. And I always start from the center and go out. That way I avoid bubbles. And I've learned that through experience. And then it doesn't shift. And your fabric goes all the way to your edges. Because sometimes I cut this smaller, and if I don't line it up right and start in the center, it ends up off balance, and then I have to figure out a new plan. So we're just sandwiching this file folder inside, so that gives us some stability to our flexibility. And I pay close attention to the center because that's where it's going to fold, and I want it adhered. These journals are going to have 3 signatures in them. Okay, let's go ahead and it's looking good so far. Let it cool just a moment. And I've got a chalk wheel because this is so dark. I'm also going to grab another marking pencil. And I don't know which color is going to show up better, so we got them all. And we'll get to learn all my little tricks. And I use this nice wide ruler. You can use your Tim Holtz ruler if you'd like, but this works good for this project. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I fold it over so I can feel the cardboard. And I'm going to make a little mark right on the edge of that and up here again. And I'm making the marks in the blue so that I can see them. And now I bring this over and lining it up with the pink marks. There it is. Okay, and I'm using 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to take my chalk wheel and make my line. Now what I can do is go ahead and cut with fabric scissors just to the inside of that line. And this I don't need. And with these marking pencils, I can just go ahead and erase that little bit of pink. And I'm just using a Magic Rub Eraser. This one actually comes with an eraser, but it's so old I don't even think it works anymore. And now we're just going to rotate, and we're going to do it again. So let's fold, find that cardboard edge, and give it a little mark. And in the center, and on this end. And I need 3 marks on this because it's longer than my ruler. So here we have our first one, and here's our second one. Yep, got to double check that blended in so well. I'm going to use my chalk wheel again. And continue the line. Lining up all our marks. Did I get, yep, that one's too big. And I missed the line. So, oh, there it is. And here we go. Make a new line. And make sure I cut it right away so I get the right line. And chalk wheels, the chalk comes right out of the fabric, so easy. So it's not permanent at all. There's a lot of different marking pencils in the fabric stores in the notions department. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate and find our edge on this side also. If you're going to put a pocket in, like I did on some of these quilted ones, you would do that at this time. But with this beautiful busy print, no pockets. And I like to start on the bottom. Here we have our top. So I'm going to start down here on the bottom. Let's go this way. We're going to do a zigzag. And I'm going to cover the edge of the fabric, the quilting. Go ahead and cut my threads. Let's turn off the machine. get it out of the way. So we have our cover all zigzagged all the way around. So here we have our journal. Well, the cover. We're going to give it a press where our edge is, and one more press where our back fold is. So we're going to look like this. And then our next step is to go ahead and put eyelets in all of them so that we can attach a closure. And then I like to sew in the signatures. So that's all for this process right now. Have a creative day.